In 1998, Phil Pfister, an unknown strongman from Charleston, West Virginia, announced his presence on his sport's biggest stage. It was obvious that this new challenger had the size, strength, and desire to compete with the best strength athletes in the world. A few years later, Pfister made sure that everyone was aware of his ultimate goal.
I will be world's strongest man one day! I will win for America!
In 2006, after a 24-year drought, there was an American champion. Now the big man returns to his hometown with the belief that a second World's Strongest Man title is within his grasp. Phil Pfister begins his quest next. And welcome to West Virginia for the Metrics World's Strongest Man as Group 2 begins their qualifying run. I'm Todd Harris along with my colleague Bill Kazmaier, the three-time champion, and the first of 6 unique tests of strength facing this group is the loading race, an event that will challenge the athletes' will as much as their power.
Todd, 4 objects are lined up 12 meters from the platforms. The athletes must carry 2 barrels that each weigh 231 pounds and the 2 sacks, which are 275 pounds apiece. The loading race is a severe trial of the athlete's endurance.
And now the first of our 2 heats, Tobias Ide, a former powerlifter from Germany, making his World's Strongest Man debut. Another rookie everyone's anxious to see is Sweden's Johannes Orho, somewhat raw but very explosive. And the final competitor in the heat is Rikard Skog, the big Norwegian. He had an impressive debut in 2007 back in Anaheim.
Take your position!
Todd, there's nothing tougher than carrying heavy objects in deep sand.
And they will be tested right off the bat. That's 231 pounds they are carrying. And look at the speed in Sweden's Johannes Orho in the middle.
Todd, that worries me. When you put out that kind of energy, it may zap you later in the race.
Once again, Orho quickly back. Now they're onto the sacks. These sacks weigh 275 pounds.
Todd, the hard part of handling these sacks is that they're stuffed so full with sand, there's no grip. They don't fold in half. There's no ears on them.
The German Ide having all kinds of problems right now. There is Rikard Skog of Norway. And there is your leader right now onto the second of the 2 sacks. Johannes Orho of Sweden looking to finish off this competition, completing Kaz. Here's the problem. Getting that up on the platform is going to be really difficult.
Orho really made a mistake without having a secure grip. Skog, on the other hand, has a firm grip and puts it on with ease.
So Rikard Skog puts up the time to beat here in heat number 1. Johannes Orho absolutely spent, as is Ide of Germany. Skog with an impressive performance. 3 objects for Orho, 34.97 seconds. But the man who wins heat number 1, Rikard Skog, all 4 objects, 105.32. On the banks of the Kanawha River, we welcome you to the capital city of Charleston for the 31st edition of the Metrics World's Strongest Man. And hello once again, everyone. Welcome to West Virginia. I'm Todd Harris. Well, today, home court advantage really kicks into play for Charleston resident Phil Pfister. He won it all back in 2006. And after a disappointing year last year, he's looking for a second title. But he will be challenged here in qualifying group number 2. Poland's Sebastian Venta finished as the runner-up to eventual champion Mariusz Pudzianowski of Poland. He looks very strong. 2 Scandinavians also look very good. A man who was a rookie last year comes back this year from Norway, Rikard Skog. And a rookie to the competition from Sweden, Johannes Orho, looks extremely strong this year. Before we move on in the competition, let's check in with my colleague Bill Kazmaier, who is standing by at the 3rd event of the day, the truck pull.
Todd, nothing quite says world's strongest man like a guy pulling a 50,000-pound truck. For good reason. Because it's positively a gargantuan task. And as with any big pull, the first few steps will likely tell the story as the athletes exert maximum power to get the log truck moving. Once they overcome the initial resistance of the 25-ton load and get it creeping down the course, the real pain sets in. And as the strongmen try to maintain the vehicle's momentum, the legs will burn like tree trunks. Their arms will feel like twigs. By the time the strongmen cross the finish line, they'll wish they were in any other place in the world besides this beautiful street in downtown Charleston.
All right, thanks, Kaz. We look forward to the truck pull. Right now, let's introduce you to all 6 of our international athletes here in qualifying group number 2.
Sebastian Venta, Polska. Tobias Ide, Germany.
Richard Skog, Norway. Ollie Thompson, England.
Johannes Orka, Sweden.
Phil Pfister, USA.
Now back to Magic Island for the second of two heats in the loading race, which features somewhat of interest to the people here in Charleston, West Virginia.
In lane one,
A former winner of Britain's Strongest Man, Ollie Thompson. And this is a guy that's been on the scene for the last 5 years or so, but this is his first time at the biggest event in the sport. This is Poland's Sebastian Vettel, the man who was runner-up to his countryman Mariusz Pudzianowski a year ago. He is unbelievable. And now for Charleston's favorite son, Phil Pfister, the 2006 World's Strongest Man champion, 37. This could be his final competition, and he would love to lead the sport with his second title.
God, he and Sebastian are absolute giants. Look at the stride in the sand.
That's a 231-pound keg. Look at the speed of Phil Pfister back to get the second keg of equal weight. But Sebastian Vettel nearly matching his stride, Kaz.
They're both really fast. It's just a matter of how much endurance they've built up in training in the past.
Sebastian Vettel in the black now in the lead. The sack's 275 pounds.
Sebastian's got the efficiency. Pfister just manhandles it.
Pfister and Venta neck and neck. Meanwhile, Ollie Thompson of England struggling. He gets the first sack on. Remember, these sacks, 275 pounds, and Venta has the lead. It looks like he may claim this one.
About to lose it, carrying it lower. This is a tight race.
Pfister is there, knocking at the door, and places a sack on. He gets the win, 55.88 seconds for West Virginia's Phil Pfister. Meanwhile, Sebastian Venta is right there, just cannot muster the strength. And Ollie Thompson of England is there as well, but he can't get it on the platform. Remember, it has to be placed on the platform before the whistle blows.
This is brutal.
And Thompson and Venta just run out of time. Phil Pfister, your winner in the loading race. Sebastian Venta will have to settle for third place, and he was so close. Ollie Thompson gets fifth. Well, Venta of Poland was in total control until the little stumble which left the door, but just a crack, and the big American came through. Phil Pfister standing by with Kaz.
Phil, great race. You made it look kind of easy.
Definitely not easy, Cass, you know. The idea is to finish strong on that one. Wenta was ahead of me on the third object, but it all comes down to the end. Who puts the last object on before the other guy, so it's all about smooth and steady and trying to finish strong.
What's it like going into the first event here with family in Charleston?
You know, the first event's always scary, but it was really cool to hear this crowd roar when they called my name just before the event. Very cool.
Great job, Phil.
Thanks, Cass.
So the win and the 6 points that accompany it go to Phil Pfister. Ricard Skoog, the only other man to complete the course, takes second. Sebastian Venta has to settle for third. Then it's Orho, Thompson, and Ide. 6 of the planet's best strongmen turn their attention to one of the sport's signature events. The Keg Toss is next when the Metrics World's Strongest Man returns. Charleston, the capital city of West Virginia since 1877. It's a place that offers all of the big city amenities like the arts and entertainment, but has never lost its small city charm and friendliness. From the Kanawha River to the tree-lined streets of downtown, Charleston has a little bit of everything, including a whole lot of hospitality as the host city to this year's ultimate test of strength. And the Metrics World's Strongest Man rolls on with the Keg Toss, the second of 6 events in the qualifying round for group number 2.
The kegs range from 33 to 49 pounds and need to be thrown over a 16-foot wall. The weight won't be a problem. It's the lead shot in the barrels that presents the challenge. The kegs are just tremendously awkward to handle.
All right, first up, it'll be Johannes Orho, the newcomer from Sweden. Now, he finished 4th in the loading race, so Kaz, he needs a big performance here because, as you know, points are at a premium. You need not get behind.
God, I think this guy Orho is somebody to watch for the future. He's shown tremendous potential in winning Sweden's Strongest Man.
Guys, what do you think about his technique here? He's getting to the same position every time instead of just grabbing and throwing where the kegs are.
It's good to reset and get closer to the standard. He shows tremendous whip and power, but he is losing time and backing up.
Now he's on to the final two kegs. These are 49 pounds apiece, and he clears it. This is the last one. And he does it. In a time of 36.80 seconds, the rookie from Sweden, Johannes Orho.
I told you I like this guy.
Well, usually it's a disadvantage to be the first competitor, but not for Orho. He quickly disposed of all 8 kegs. He's now standing by with Bill Kazmaier.
Johannes, you really made that look easy.
It suits me well. I'm a kind of explosive guy, so I was hoping that the barrels would suit me well, and it did, and I'm very, very happy for that.
This is your first time at World's Strongest Man. Are you sending a message with this event?
Hopefully, but I'm so happy to be here, and standing here being interviewed by you is incredible too. It's a great honor. So
that was an incredible performance. You impressed. Keep it up.
Thank you very much. I will.
Here he is from Norway, Richard.
This is Rikard Skog. Now he will have to follow that awesome performance by Orho. In his second year at the World's Strongest Man, the Norwegian seems much more comfortable and confident this time. He's got to pick it up. He got second place in the loading race.
A little taller, a lot of leverage. Way too much power for the light ones.
Those first two kegs, though, Kaz, 33 pounds. Now he's on to the white ones. These are 37 pounds.
He's doing well, readjusting his trajectory.
As Kaz mentioned, the weight's not the problem. It's that lead shot inside the keg. But no problem there. The 44-pound kegs up and over. Now, these are the final ones, Kaz, 49 pounds apiece.
He sure is taking his time. A miss like that is going to cost him a lot of time.
Well, he will not get the time to beat. Orho's time will stand up, but he does get the keg over on the second effort. And this is the final one. This is 49 pounds and the 16-foot barrier.
Looks like he's having fun. Just not enough power to get it up and over.
And again, trajectory being a problem, Kaz.
Got to pick the right arc. All the muscles have to fire at just the right time to put this thing up and over the platform.
Well, he's got the distance and the height. He just doesn't have the right trajectory, and he runs out of time. So 7 kegs in a time of 1 minute, 15 seconds for Rikard Skog. Johannes Orho showed how it's done. Can anyone challenge him in the keg toss? We'll find out when the Metrics World's Strongest Man returns. Welcome back to Magic Island in Charleston, West Virginia, as the Metrics World's Strongest Man qualifying round of Group 2 continues with the keg toss. With 4 of the 6 men in the group reporting their scores, it's Johannes Orho on top with all 8 kegs in a time of 36.80 seconds. Then it's Rikard Skog in second with 7 kegs. Phil Pfister has been the top U.S. strongman for a decade, and the 2006 champ would love to thrill his home crowd here in Charleston one more time.
My strength is pretty good right now. I think my conditioning's pretty good. You know, I think I've got a shot this year as well. And to win this thing, you've got to be really, really hungry, really, really focused, pretty smart, and really strong. It's a really, really demanding sport, and they call it the World's Strongest Man for a reason. It really takes everything you have. This is my last big hurrah. I think maybe it's time for me to step back and say, hey, I've had my day in the sun. You may see me around World's Strongest Man in the future. Maybe I'll come back in 5 or 10 years and see if I can hang in there with the young guys. You know, the prize money or a title or a trophy, all that stuff fades, but the experiences, the friendships that you form, that's the best part about being a strongman.
Kaz, I got to say, it's hard to picture Phil leaving the stage.
It would be great for the sport if Phil would remain active for a few more years, but if this is it, I wouldn't be surprised if the support of his hometown crowd propel him to another title.
The mark to beat. All 8 kegs in a time of 36.80 seconds. Pfister using great form and technique, Kaz. Look how he's just picking up where they stand on a slight bobble there.
He's got a ton of power and all the leverage. He cut loose on that one.
Onto the blue kegs. They weigh 44 pounds apiece.
Taking his time after missing the white keg. He knows he's not in it for first place. He just wants to make sure he gets them all over now.
Onto the gold kegs now. They weigh 49 pounds each, up and over the 16-foot barrier. He will not beat Orho's time, but Phil Pfister now just trying to grab as many points as possible. You like this move here?
Really set to throw and unleash. And he does it.
And gets the hometown crowd on their feet. His time, 47.38 seconds.
Phil just didn't want to make any mistakes. He was very deliberate in his form and knew getting all 8 kegs was the most important thing.
And our final competitor, Ollie Thompson of England. He'll want to better his 5th place finish that he got in the first event. Johannes Orho is still the current leader here in the Keg Toss. The Swede's time of 36.80 seconds is the mark to beat.
Todd, I like this guy, Ollie Thompson. Look at that physique. A ton of power, and I like his prickly attitude. Kind of reminds me of myself.
Making quick work of these white kegs. They weigh 37 pounds. Now onto the blue ones, 44 pounds.
Great explosion.
And there is his first mistake. The 16-foot barrier just a little bit too much. You can hear that lead shot in there rattling around as he gets prepped to throw those.
A ton of power. It takes the athleticism to get it up and over. Everything's got to explode at just the right time.
And he is successful as he moves on now to the gold kegs. These weigh 49 pounds apiece. Now, he won't beat Johannes Orho. He'll get the victory in this, but Kaz, there's still valuable points out there.
I think he's spent. Things are over for Ollie here.
So, Ollie Thompson will be credited with 6 kegs in a time of 1 minute, 15 seconds. And the man who gets the victory, Johannes Orho, being congratulated by hometown favorite Phil Pfister. So Orho gets the win, followed by Pfister. Ricard Skug picks up valuable points in 3rd. Then Venta and Thompson tie for 4th. Tobias Ide of Germany is in 6th. After 2 of 6 events, Pfister has the lead with 11 points. The 2 Scandinavians in the group, Orho of Sweden and Skug of Norway, share 2nd. Venta is in 4th. He'll need to climb the scoreboard if he wants to claim one of the 2 spots in the final. We bring out the big lumber when the Metrics World's Strongest Man returns. A massive 25-ton logging truck will be pulled through downtown Charleston next. Welcome back to the Metrics World's Strongest Man in Charleston, West Virginia. This is Group 2's qualifying round, and their 3rd event is the truck pull. 3 athletes remain in the truck pull, and 3 have already gone. The current leader is Sweden's Johannes Orho, who powered the 50,000-pound truck over the line in 58.10 seconds. But the favorite is yet to come, and here he is, Phil Pfister, the overall leader for Group number 2. The man from Charleston really knows how to draw a crowd in his hometown.
Okay, Phil, pick up the rope.
Even the governor of West Virginia, Joe Manchin, made it out to show his support.
Okay. Ready?
How about the pressure on him, Kaz? Not to mention the truck, but the pressure of the crowd that's come out.
He comes through under pressure, Todd. He's got a tremendous pull going here. Look at the size of those calves. 375 pounds, 6'6". Pulling like a madman.
The course length, 20 meters. The time to beat put up by Orho, 58.10 seconds.
There's no doubt he's going to get that, Todd. Check that tilt.
And look at the size of the crowd cheering on the hometown favorite, Phil Pfister, as he approaches the line. Will he go sub 40? No, but it'll be very close. 40.85 seconds. Pfister is in the lead. What an effort for Phil Pfister from Charleston, West Virginia. Pfister combined the necessary leg drive and arm strength perfectly, and his 375 pounds certainly helped propel the truck over the 20-meter course. He crushed the previous time. Now staying by with Bill.
Phil, you got your family here in your own hometown, and even the governor cheering for you. How great is that?
Man, this crowd's awesome. It's such a dream come true to be able to do this in my hometown.
50,000 pounds. You got it moving. Would you describe how it felt to you?
Well, it was definitely a heavy, tough pull, Kaz, and I'm curious to see how it holds up. Great group of guys. All the heats are really stacked with awesome athletes this year, Kaz. Very strong.
Super effort.
Thanks, Kaz. Thanks.
So we now move on to Poland Sebastian Venta. Surprisingly, only 4th place in the overall standings after 2 events, but this is a chance for him to pick up some points. The new time to beat, 40.85 seconds put up by Phil Pfister.
Todd Venta's not as massive and bulky as Fister, but I like the way he uses his leverage. He's kind of losing it here, though. Side to side is not going to move that truck.
That truck is 25 tons. He's got to move it down the 20-meter course and hopefully do it in a time under that of Phil Fister, 40.85 seconds.
Starting to move now. Pretty smooth, but I'd like to see him dig down a little more and take some pain.
Guys, you talk often about the tilt. How do you like his tilt?
It's pretty high, Todd. The lower you go, the more efficient you are, the more power you put to the truck, but it really, really hurts.
Well, he will not beat Phil Fister's time, but Sebastian Venta right now certainly needs the points. He's got a good pull going here, slow and steady.
80% effort, Todd.
But he gets it done in a time of 54.41 seconds for Poland's Sebastian Venta, currently in second place in the truck poll.
Todd Venta was steady in his pull, but he didn't get low and take the pain. I think he could have put out a lot more effort and got closer to Phil's time.
So that takes us to our final competitor in the truck poll for group number 2. This is Norway's Rikard Skog. Now, Skog is in a tie for second place in the overall standings.
Are you ready?
Rikard Skog of Norway, strapped to 50,000 pounds. He's got to cover this course, which is 20 meters long. He's got to do it in a time of less than 40.85 seconds. That the time to beat put up by American Phil Fister.
Couple good lunges off the start, Todd. And a lot of leg power, bit of a slip there. He's got this thing moving now.
Kaz, he's got to be at a disadvantage, though, because he's a lot smaller than either Fister or Venta.
He's shorter, yes, and that lighter body weight is a definite disadvantage.
Talk about his tilt. What are you seeing?
He's really got to sell out, Todd. Stay low and drive hard.
Well, he will not beat the time put up by Phil Fister, but he is driving hard. And for Rikard Skog of Norway, he will stop the clock in a time of 47.44 seconds for the Norwegian. That'll put him into second place in the truck poll, and he will pick up some very valuable points. With a time of 40.85 seconds, West Virginia's Phil Fister picks up his second win in 3 events. Norway's Rikard Skog gets second. Third place goes to Sebastian Venta, Poland. Fourth belongs to Sweden's Johannes Orho. Fister's picked up 17 of a maximum 18 points to remain in the overall lead. Skog moves into sole possession of second. And third, it's Orho. Venta continues to struggle. He's in fourth. Then it's Thompson and Ide. It's now time for the Metrics Brute Strength Award.
Todd, this time the prize goes to Johannes Orho for his performance in the Keg Toss. The rookie didn't waste much time in announcing his presence. Keg after keg were rocketed over the 16-foot wall.
Todd Harris, this has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. So long from Charleston, West Virginia. We'll see you next time. Hometown supporters helped propel Phil Fister to the top of his qualifying group. At the halfway point, the man from Charleston, West Virginia has shown the strength, smarts, and hunger that made him champion in 2006. But athletes like Rikard Skog, the second-year man from Norway, Swedish rookie Johannes Orho, and Poland's Sebastian Venta, the runner-up from a year ago, won't allow this to become a homecoming party. The battle for the 2 spots in the World's Strongest Man final continues next. Charleston, the capital city of West Virginia, is host to the Metrics World's Strongest Man. We're at the midway point of Group 2's qualifying journey. Now, the fourth of 6 events in this group is a standard measure of strength with a modern twist. Todd Harris, along with my partner, Bill Kazmaier, this is the squat lift.
The event opens at 585 pounds. After a successful lift, an additional barrel is dropped into the basket, adding even more weight to the load. This continues until the 7th and final lift, which is 800 pounds.
Up first will be Johannes Orho, the newest talent to emerge from Scandinavia. Sweden's strongest man is in third place after 3 events.
Todd, when you look at Johannes, he's got pretty good-sized legs and he's solid. He should be a good squatter.
Good squat.
At starting weight 585 pounds, now he gets tricky.
Good squat.
Up to 620, now 650 in the basket.
I see him using a lot of quadriceps. He's keeping his back really upright and straight. That's great for him.
This is rep number 5, 720 pounds for Orho of Sweden, and he's successful.
great concentration.
And he is successful at 750 pounds. This is the last rep. And it proves to be too much. So Orho, 6 reps, 32.10 seconds.
This is how we do it in freedom!
Welcome to the capital of West Virginia. We're in Charleston for the ultimate test of strength. This is the 31st edition of the Metrics World's Strongest Man. Hello once again, everyone. I'm Todd Harris. Well, qualifying group number 2 is halfway through their run to the final. But remember, only 2 of these athletes will move on. Right now, enjoying home court advantage is West Virginian Phil Pfister. He was the champion from 2006 in Sanya, China. Sitting in second place, a rookie last year, Rikard Skog from Norway. He has looked awesome. And in third place from Sweden, a newcomer to the event, this is Johannes Orho. Looking very good, but he's got a long way to go. But maybe the biggest surprise in this group is the man who sits in fourth place. From Poland, Sebastian Venta. Remember, he finished as the runner-up in the final last year to countryman Mariusz Pudzianowski. Right now, before we move on to the competition, let's check in with my colleague Bill Kazmaier, who's standing by with the 2006 champion, Phil Pfister.
Phil, you're leading after 3 events. Is this exactly where you expected to be?
You know, you can never really expect anything, but yeah, I had some good feelings coming into this heat. But, you know, anytime you can compete with the best guys in the world and come out anywhere close to the top, you know, it's awesome.
Well, you're competing here on your home turf. Would this be too perfect of an ending for you to repeat as World's Strongest Man?
Oh, man, that would be awesome, Kaz. You know, when I managed to win at 06, that was like a dream come true. It was a big relief. If I could manage to win this year, you know, that'd be unbelievable.
Best of luck.
Thanks, Bill.
All right, thanks, Kaz. Before we get back to the competition, let's bring you up to speed on what has happened so far. First up for Group 2 was the loading race, an event that took a toll on just about everyone. Norway's Rikard Skog battled his way to a second-place finish. The hometown crowd expected Phil Pfister to put on a show, and he delivered. The 2006 champ won the loading race. Next up was the Keg Toss. The 16-foot wall wasn't a problem for Sweden's Johannes Orho as he captured the victory. In the truck pole once again, it was Phil Pfister center stage. With West Virginia's Governor Joe Manchin watching, Pfister added a second victory in 3 events. With 17 points, Phil Pfister is alone at the top of the leaderboard after 3 events. In second, it's Rikard Skog with 14 points. Johannes Orho is in third. Sebastian Venta is in fourth. Thompson and Ide are well up the pace. Remember, only 2 of these 6 men will advance to the final. As we welcome you back to the Capitol Complex here in Charleston, West Virginia, Group 2 continues with the squat lift. Right now, languishing in 4th place in the overall standing, Sebastian Venta really needs a huge performance here, Kaz.
And at 6'7", he needs more body mass to do well in this event. His legs are a little bit lean.
Good squat. Squat.
Sebastian Venta successful at 650 pounds. Kaz, looks like he's saying he's done.
He's a great athlete, but he just doesn't like to squat.
Sebastian Venta credited with 4 squats in a time of 17.41 seconds.
Look at the distance Venta has to travel from the top to the bottom. This event just doesn't favor a man who's 6'7" tall.
So Sebastian Venta exits stage left, currently in 2nd place. In 2006, Phil Pfister ended a 24-year drought of U.S. champions at the World's Strongest Man, and now he's showing the form that might make a second title possible. This is the Metrics World's Strongest Man. Welcome back to the 31st edition of the Metrics World's Strongest Man. We're in Charleston, West Virginia at the Capitol Complex as qualifying Group 2 continues with the squat lift. Rikard Skog entered the squat lift in 2nd place in the overall standings, but had to settle for a very disappointing 3 reps in 14.14 seconds. Tobias Ide of Germany cruised through the first 4 lifts, but could do no more. His score, 4 reps at 18.43 seconds. So with 4 athletes in the books and just 2 still to go, Johannes Orho continues to lead with 6 reps in 32.10 seconds. Sebastian Vettis in second, then it's Ide in third, and Skoob in fourth. At 28 years of age, Ollie Thompson is making his first World's Strongest Man appearance, but he's certainly not overwhelmed by the moment or the fact that it's been 19 years since an Englishman has reigned supreme.
I think like most guys, I didn't really pick strongman. More strongman just sort of picked me. I was doing sports and doing weights, and it kind of come about naturally. I'm in a group full of giants, tall guys, big heavy guys. So it's going to be tough on the truck pull and events like that, but I feel like I'm compact and powerful, and everything you see is working muscle, so it's going to be an advantage for me on some events as well. The level of the sport in England at the moment, it's got to be the best it's ever been, I'd say. Got 5 guys here now, all capable of doing damage. And we've probably got a few guys that could compete for the podium if we're in condition. And that's a good thing for our country.
And Kaz, there really has been a resurgence of strength athletes from England in recent years.
Their quality of strongmen get better year after year. Guys like Felix, Terry Hollins, and Ollie Thompson are closing the gap on the Eastern Europeans who've dominated in recent years.
Well, the task at hand for Ollie Thompson is to better the 6 lifts and 32.10 seconds score, which was posted by Johannes Orho of Sweden.
From the side, check the massive quad. A nice form, flat back. He's really built a squat, Todd.
Successful at 720, this is 750. Wow, making it look easy, Kaz.
No strain on his face. Look at that. Give him another one.
Impressive performance by Ollie Thompson. 7 reps, 29.99 seconds. Well, when you have textbook form, I guess 4,800 pounds isn't much of a problem. An awesome performance gives Ollie Thompson plenty of reason to celebrate. He's now standing by with Bill Kazmaier.
Ollie, we know you've been a bit disappointed thus far. That has to make you happy doing all 7 lifts.
Nothing but 7 lifts would have done for me there. I'm making my mark now.
The total weight of that apparatus after that final lift is around 5,000 pounds. What does that feel like on your legs?
I wanted some more.
You sure have. Impressive strength.
Thank you very much.
And that will bring us to Phil Pfister, the 6th and final competitor in the squat lift. Phil's had a pair of first-place finishes along with a second in the first 3 events, but this is the one event, Kaz, he is not looking forward to.
Just as we saw Sebastian Venta. 6'6" and 6'7", guys are really not made to squat.
Phil's got a nice pace going so far. Successful at 650, this will be for 685.
You know, he's been training with Brian Siders, the world record holder in powerlifting. His form has really improved.
And this is good for 750, and he's asking for the racks in. He's done. So Phil Pfister with a good run early on, but he knows his limitations. He is credited with 6 reps in a time of 24.03 seconds. Ollie Thompson wins the squat lift with 7 reps in 29.99 seconds. Both Phil Pfister and Johannes Orho completed 6 lifts, but the American takes second with a faster time. 4th place belongs to Sebastian Venta. Pfister leads the way with 22 points after 4 events. Orho is in second with 16. In third, it's Skoob. Venta in 4th. And a return to the final for last year's runner-up is in doubt. Remember, just 2 of these men move on. You think our strongmen do a lot of heavy lifting? Check out the action here at this surface coal mine just outside of Charleston. When we return, much more from the 31st edition of the Metrics World's Strongest Man. Just outside of Charleston, the New River Gorge Bridge is near the top of the list of any tourist must-see locations in West Virginia. At 876 feet, it's the 2nd highest bridge in the world. One day a year, traffic stops and the bridge is turned over to base jumpers. For other thrill seekers, the New River offers the best whitewater rafting east of the Mississippi. Welcome back to the Metrics World's Strongest Man. The qualifying round for group number 2 shifts to the University of Charleston for the axle press.
The axle press is easy to explain but difficult to execute. The athletes must press the 300-pound apparatus overhead for as many repetitions as possible. The problem is, the bar is so thick, it's virtually impossible to grip for an average hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Representing Germany.
Now in our first pairing, this is Tobias Ide, the former powerlifter from Germany. He's currently in 6th place in the overall standings. England's Ollie Thompson comes off a win in the squat lift, but still finds himself in 5th place in the overall standings.
Todd will find out right away if these guys are comfortable with the oversized bar. No problem for Ollie Thompson. Tobias, Todd, is taking kind of an unusual hand grip.
Now remember, it's 300 pounds that they are lifting. They've got 75 seconds to get as many reps as possible. Thompson in the blue, they're staggering just a little bit, but he does lock out.
He's got super power in his shoulders and arms.
He's going right back to work and is credited with his 4th repetition. Meanwhile, Ide of Germany really struggling, Kaz.
Tobias is maybe a little bit too muscle-bound to be able to rotate his wrists like Ollie is and handle the bar.
Ollie Thompson up to 6 repetitions. And Ide misses out on that one right there. Did not get the complete lock. Thompson, though, continues to press on.
He sure is the fighter, Todd.
8 repetitions before the whistle. Tobias Ide struggled, only credited with 1 rep. But Ollie Thompson has found his stride here at the axle press.
Todd, Tobias had all sorts of problems with the press. He just couldn't get comfortable with his grip. Surely open-handed is not the way to do it. He maybe should have looked over to his right and watched Ollie Thompson do it in picture-perfect style.
Now to a pair of heavyweights. The pressure's on Poland's Sebastian Venta here, Kaz. He's in 4th place overall. He has serious work to do if he wants to return to the final for a 3rd straight year. Meanwhile, Phil Pfister of the United States can almost put it on cruise. He is the current overall leader here in group number 2.
Historically, Todd, this is a good event for both guys. It's going to be a shootout.
Reps to beat, 8 put up by Ollie Thompson of England. And both of these guys, Kaz, they have great form, great technique. What are you seeing?
Venta can't rack the bar on his shoulders. He's too muscle-bound. It's amazing that he's lean, but yet that tight. Pfister resting across his chest and gets nice leg drive. He's got superior form.
Both men now sitting at 4. Remember, that's 300 pounds. They've got 75 seconds to get up as many reps as possible. The mark to beat, 8, put up by Ollie Thompson of England.
Todd, watch Pfister's hands. It's really not hard for him to grab that big bar. He's got the biggest hands in strongman.
Look at the press by Phil Pfister. And Venta, both men making it look easy.
It's a toy for Pfister.
So Sebastian Venta moves into the lead. Phil Pfister currently tied with Ollie Thompson at 8. And you can see just how awkward that apparatus is.
Those stars are really alive, Todd. When they hit the ground, they're all over the place.
So Phil Pfister putting the pressure on Sebastian Venta as time runs out. So we have a 2-way tie. Phil Pfister, 9 repetitions in the axle press and an equal mark for Poland's Sebastian Venta.
Sebastian Venta and Phil Pfister.
So with 2 athletes still to go, you are looking at your co-leaders.
2 different styles. Venta's a little tight for this lift, but you can't argue with 9 reps. Pfister's picture perfect. He racks it and rams it overhead. Great lifting.
And it's on to the final 2 competitors. The surprising Johannes Orho of Sweden comes into the axle press in 2nd place. He hasn't been intimidated by guys like Pfister and Venta. Rikard Skog of Norway is now in 3rd place overall. The 2nd-year man had been a steady performer until the last event. Now he needs a positive result here.
Well, Todd, 9 reps put up by Venta and Pfister are really going to be difficult to match.
That is the mark to beat. 9 repetitions in 75 seconds. That's 300 pounds that they are lifting.
And time is going to be critical, Todd. You've got to be efficient. Taking it to the shoulders, arm's length, back to the ground, settle down, and get another clean and press.
Looks like Scooby's really struggling there, Kaz, on the left.
And that's taking time.
Time's certainly not on their side. Remember, only 75 seconds to complete as many reps as possible. 300 pounds is the apparatus. And Orho going for 6. Scoob gets the 5th.
Not only do you lose time struggling on the chest and the clean, but also takes a lot of energy from the body.
Less than 20 seconds to go, and Orho muscles that one up, but doesn't lock it out. Scoob, however, does, so they are tied at 6. The final few seconds of this heat, and Orho gets the lockout. Scoob the same. So at the end of 75 seconds, it's Johannes Orho, 7 repetitions. That'll put him in a tie for 4th place with that man, Rikard Skog, also 7 reps.
Both men really struggled with this awkward apparatus. Skog a little questionable at the lockout, but gets credit for it. Orho had his own problems, but he battled his way to 7 reps.
Phil Pfister and Sebastian Venta each post 9 reps and share in the victory. 8 reps gives Ollie Thompson 3rd place. Johannes Orho and Rikard Skog settle for a tie for 4th. And it's Tobias Ide alone in 6th. Pfister is still the overall leader and now has claimed one of the 2 available berths in the final. Venta's 5.5 points for sharing the win vaults him into 2nd place with 19 points. Then it's Orho, Skog, and Thompson. The 2006 champion punched his ticket to the final, but who will join him? 4 men have a chance, but only 1 will be left standing. This is the Metrics World's Strongest. And welcome back to the Metrics World's Strongest Man on the campus of the University of Charleston in West Virginia. This is the 6th and final event for qualifying Group 2, the Atlas Stones.
Total overall body strength will be at a premium for this one. The athletes will need to lift the stones, which range from 220 to 400 pounds, and place them on the platforms. One slight bobble, one misstep can and will make the difference.
Tobias Ide and Phil Pfister got things started in the Atlas Stones. Pfister had already qualified for the final and didn't want to risk injury at the Atlas Stones. He never even made an attempt. Ide made short work of the first 4 before running into a roadblock in the form of a 400-pound stone. Ide's score was 4 stones in 43.24 seconds. Now it's on to the second pair. Rikard Skog of Norway is currently in 4th place in the overall standings, but still alive. By virtue of the scores in that first heat, England's Ollie Thompson needs a miracle for a final spot. Pfister's into the final, but things get interesting. Any of these men can move on. If either Venta or Orho wins the Atlas Stones, they would advance. Now, Skog is going to need some help, but there are plenty of other scenarios.
Peter can't be thinking of that now. He's got to throw all 5 stones up and place pressure on the final 2.
Skog on the right, quickly making work of that second stone. That's 245 pounds. This one, 265.
A lot of power from Thompson.
Both men doing really well. Here it is, the 5th and final stone. This is 400 pounds. And Skog has done it. Rikard Skog in 24.92 seconds, and a great performance from England's Ollie Thompson. So Rikard Skog, 5 stones, 24.92 seconds. He becomes the current leader in the Atlas Stones. Ollie Thompson, a strong performance, but he will not be moving on.
I love the way Rikard dug in and manhandled the stone, knowing he needed it to move on. And you got to respect Ollie Thompson for fighting all the way to the end.
Well, Rikard Skog has given himself a shot, so we'll see how Venta and Orho respond. Now, if the winner of this heat can beat Skog's score of 5 stones in 24.92 seconds, they'll advance to the final. If both fall short of that mark, well, we might be pulling a math major out of the crowd here at the University of Charleston, because both of these guys are very impressive, especially when it comes to the stones.
Todd, this is the kind of time that these guys live for. They know if they step up and post a fast enough time, it'll propel them into the final. I normally favor Venta in an event like this, but Orho has really shown the stuff in the events prior.
Sebastian Venta in the black now onto the 5th and final stone. This is 400 pounds. And he's done it. Sebastian Venta stops the clock at 21.05 seconds, wins the stones, and will move on into the final with Phil Pfister.
Motion, bitch.
And what can you say about Johannes Orho? For the rookie, a tremendous performance, but will not be moving on.
This is what the sport's all about. It was do or die for Sebastian Venta, and he came through. And as for Orho, he has nothing to be ashamed of on his first trip to the World's Strongest Man competition.
Poland's Sebastian Venta, though, the runner-up last year in Anaheim, will rejoin Phil Pfister in qualifying for the final. 4 men in the group managed to lift all 5 stones, but it was Sebastian Venta winning with a time of 21.05 seconds. Ricard Skoog's great effort resulted in a second-place finish. It was a masterful performance for Phil Pfister. The veteran wins the group. It was a battle for Venta, but he did enough to grab the second transfer position. Skoog and Orho tied for third and showed they're 2 to watch in the future. The 2006 champion is standing by with Bill.
Phil, successful run in the qualifying round. How much pressure's off you now that you secured a position in the final?
Oh, it's a big relief, you know, now to really start thinking about the real battle in the final. The qualifiers are always nerve-wracking. It's a real tough fight just to make it through your qualifiers every year.
Could this be another magical year like 2006?
You know, it would just be unbelievable to win here. You know, I think I could almost walk on water here in West Virginia if I could manage to win in front of my hometown. But it's really just a big dream come true.
It's now time for the Metrics Brute Strength Award, and it goes to Sebastian Venta for his performance in the Atlas Stones. In what was essentially a winner-go-home situation,